A Facebook friend of mine has suggested I look at a particular verse in 2 Corinthians. Well, it is very odd. Let me read a bit to you. Paul says, I know a man in Christ, I know another Christian, who 14 years ago was caught up to the third heaven. What? Bizarre. What does it mean? I mean, what does Paul mean even by the word heaven? And how come there are numbers of heaven? The third heaven. I mean, I've never heard. I thought I knew the Bible, quite well, but I don't ever remember reading this verse or thinking about it. I mean, Paul just simply doesn't explain what he means. It's very weird. Then it goes on. Whether it was in the body or out of the body, I do not know. God knows. I'm sorry, I'm at a loss. Okay, so let's see what it might mean. In the body. Okay, that might mean that there's a possibility that this guy that Paul knew actually physically went up into heaven with his whole body. Or, not in the body, might mean that his spirit went to heaven. Well, if Paul doesn't know, then what does he know? What has this man been talking about? It sounds, yeah. Do you have dreams? I mean, we all have dreams. I don't actually remember mine very well, but my wife has very vivid dreams that she remembers clearly. And this sounds simply like a dream, doesn't it? That this guy had a dream and told Paul about it. I mean, that's the most common explanation for experiences like that. So Paul is actually just giving us hearsay, someone's internal experience, and Paul doesn't know whether it was a physical experience or just an internal experience. Well, if he doesn't know, he's really just giving us hearsay, and we can't take this as evidence of anything other than that somebody's mind is working probably quite normally. So there we are. Two funny things. We don't know what sort of experience this was. It's only, as far as we can see, hearsay. So it's valueless as evidence. And then it's talking about third heavens. Well, what's the first heaven and the second heaven and the 99th heaven? Well, Paul doesn't tell us what he's talking about. Over and over and over again in the Bible, I come across things where people say stuff and they assume we know it. But actually, we don't understand what they're saying at all. The Bible, at many points, is actually impossible to understand.
It ain't necessarily so. It ain't necessarily so. The things that you're liable to read in the Bible, it ain't necessarily